What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Virginia's for Sports podcast for another special week, a special guest. If you are watching right now, thank you. You found us on our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram at VIFS for Sports. Big news, though, and I can't give too much of the details, but we're going to be moving to a new platform very soon called WatchSports.com. It's kind of like a YouTube. Nowhere near as big, but we're hoping it becomes as big. So look for that. But tonight we have a special guest. His name is Coach Marcus Lewis. He is a state champion. He won the state champion his first year, Coach. Is that right? The very first year coaching
So
Verana
so
High School.
so the following year, yeah, I got the head coaching job COVID year, and then we won in 2021. Yeah.
There you go. Well, yeah, we
hmm
try to forget COVID. State champion, played at Verana. We can't wait to talk to you. Thank you so much for being on tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I'd be remiss if I didn't start by saying we got connected to you through the one and only Coach Stu Brown, who is a big friend of the podcast and does Tuesdays every Tuesday. If you haven't missed that, if you've missed that, you should check it out. But how did you meet Coach Stu Brown?
So Coach Moran actually coached me when I was at Verona. So that's how I met him when I was playing football at Verona.
So was he integral in you becoming a coach, or
Yeah,
how
so
did that happen?
he was. I was coaching rec ball. I started off at Verona rec, coaching a lot of those guys. And the year he got the head coach job around the high school, I was at the scrimmage game. I think it was a deep run scrimmage game or something like that. Maybe Verona scrimmage or something like that. And I was just talking to him, and he was like, "Man, you're interested in coaching high school football?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been doing rec. If the opportunity come, I definitely come and coach with you." Not knowing he was gonna get the job at Verona, he didn't tell me anything about that. And long and behold, he got the job and gave me a call. So that's how I got started coaching at Verona High School.
I love it. I love it. And we'll get way more into details around that. But first, take us back to when you were a kid. When did you start playing football? Where did you play? What was your position? Tell us all about it.
So I started playing the age of maybe 4 or 5, playing flag. I played my whole career at Verona High School. Younger, I played running back, played quarterback. Always played linebacker my whole life. I played that all the way up until I got to Verona. I got to Verona my freshman year. Played running back. I broke my ankle when I was playing running back. Coach Bud Heller came to the Prince George game. I think I had maybe 3 or 4 touchdowns running the ball. Had a couple of sacks and some tackles at linebacker. They was about to move me up, and somebody rolled over my leg, and I heard my ankle pop. So, so from there, when I came back, playoff game when we played Thomas Dale, and my freshman year I was going to end up playing safety. So sophomore and up, I ended up playing middle linebacker. I moved to safety. We go to cover two or two safety high, and they took me off of offense ever since then from me breaking my ankle. They'll put me in like an H back to run behind me playoff time. My 10th, 11th, and 12th year. Yeah.
I love it.
So, Marcus, Verina football in the Richmond area has been synonymous with winning since I was a little kid back in the 70s and 80s, I think. Now, I probably wasn't following them too close in the 70s, but I know in the 80s they were good. And since then, there may have been a handful of down years, but they've basically been a really, really strong program the entire time. What is it about Verina football that makes them so strong over such a long period of time?
Oh, that's a great question. Honestly, I think I just think it's ball players on this side of town. To be honest with you, and I think the difference of us growing up, that's all we knew was Verona High School. It was only 2, 3 rec teams around here. That was Verona. You got Glenlee, you got Holland Springs. So in our area, we didn't play everywhere. We played where we lived at. We grew up playing football, basketball, baseball all day long in the neighborhood. You may have 60 to 70 kids out there playing football all day. And us having older brothers for the most part, I think it just gave us that grit. We're playing with the older guys. You can't be out there whining and crying, so you got to hold your own. And I think from there, it's always been like that. Along with around my time and before my time, just the coaching. I was lucky enough and blessed enough to have some great coaches coming up through my rec years. My dad started me off with coaching me in every sport. I was a 3-sport athlete too. Played baseball, basketball, football. He coached me in everything. And then from there, my brother, Carlos Lewis, Puka Scott, Hannibal Tuck, Rara. I mean, we had just a lot of these coaches have been doing their things for years. They coached a lot of the kids that came through around the high school. I mean, the list will go on from me, Michael Robinson, from Andre Branch, from Mara Evans to Markel Arrington. We all pretty much had the same coaches, and pretty much we all live in the same neighborhood or within the same area, and it was a family. You see one, you saw all of us, and it was just you played for something bigger than just us. We didn't want to let our brothers down beside us, and that's why I felt like we was just so good. Just that foundation that we had at a young age.
I think someone once called it the eighth continent or something funny about Verana, that because it's kind of not really isolated, but it's a community. My wife's from Verana, right? So our kids played in Verana in Little League, and there's something about it because we've been other places. There's something about Verana. There's a community there. It's like a family there, and people are so nice, right? So growing up there, right, and playing football there, what is it about the strength of that community that helps people? Because people don't leave Verana. A lot of times they'll leave, but they're always Verana. What is it about that community?
Oh man, it's almost like when you see them movies and everything shut down when you playing. I feel like we used to have that back in the day. To where Saturdays, even when for me playing, and to this day, I mean, it's a little different now just because there's so many teams on this side of town. But I mean, everything shut down. Everybody out there all day long from Saturday morning, from the flag on to the juniors when it was the juniors. I think it's just I don't know. It's just something over here. I mean, to where it's just and honestly too, that was our way out. Honestly, that was the way that we felt like we was gonna go to college and be the first people in our household to go to college. So that was a tool for us to go see the world, go do some things, get a degree. My mama installed that in me from day one. Like, hey, you go play some sports. You go get you a degree, and sports is my way to go to college.
So both of you made great points about why Verana is what it is. If you look at Verana on a map, if you look at the greater Richmond area, then you find Verana, it's surrounded by trees. It's surrounded by woods.
Yeah.
Verana's like nobody else coming in here unless you're part of the family, right?
Yeah. And you say that too. People don't leave Verana. Like the neighborhood I grew up in, Foxborough, which when I tell you everybody that kind of grew up there, there's a lot of coaches that's still coaching to this day. And the same people still live over there, which is kind of hard now to get our population back, at Verana back to when I played, it was 2,000 some kids there. But, it's a special thing to where you get you get a little bit of country depending on how far you live out. You live past Dory Park, you really get in the trees. But where I lived at, I mean, I was 5 to 10 minutes from Churchill, from Armstrong, or you talking about down the bottom Rockets Landing. So you get the best of both worlds. That's why, I love the area.
I love all that. So in 2020, you're hired in, I think, February 2020. The fall of 2020, I can't remember, was high school football basically canceled for that season, or did y'all play a modified schedule?
So we played a modified schedule. I think we played 6 games. It was so crazy. I mean, you had a mask on. There was so many rules and regulations that you had to do. It was just, if I knew COVID was about to happen, I probably would have never took the job. it was definitely different. And honestly, I was about to take a break. I was talking to Stu. I had some other things that I was working on. We was going to me and my wife and family was going to move out of town to take care of some business. When he decided to say, hey, he's stepping down, I was just like, everybody in the room, all the coaches, I've been there pretty much since 2008 coaching, looked at me like, hey, what you going to do? I said, look, I can't give y'all any, word if I'm going to apply for the job or not without talking to my wife. So I had to, talk to her before I even decided to even say, hey, I'm going to try and become a head coach.
Cool. Well, I guess you're happy you did.
Yeah, I am. Honestly, I am. It's a lot of work though. And I tip my hat off to the head coaches that's been doing it for so long. It's a lot of work to be a head coach from all the stuff you don't see on Fridays, like making sure these kids staying out of trouble, making sure they're doing good in the community, grades, fundraising, stuff to where I really didn't really look at that part, So, but I'm happy. I'm happy that I was the one to be able to win the first state championship. We haven't been there since I played, so that was something special. And that year was just crazy. My grandma had passed away. It was just a lot going on. So just to finish how we finished and to win it with a bunch of guys that end up playing, so Ant Fisher and those guys, they played Verana Rec their whole life. So when I saw them, I saw me. You understand what I'm saying? They ain't go to different teams and nothing like that. Like, hey, they was Verana guys, and that's what it takes.
So, Coach, you played on a state championship team there.
Yes, sir.
You then coached a state championship team there. What are the biggest similarities between those two teams? I know we've talked a lot about the Verana community and kids, just grew up playing, but what else is there that made them so strong and made them be able to go? Because it's not easy to win a state championship, right? So what were the similarities there?
The will, the grit. They refused to lose. They competed on everything. And some of the leaders we had, they made everybody turn the notch up. To where Ant Fisher, like, man, I speak about this guy so highly, to where he made everybody play to a level they didn't know. And he rallied the troops. He made everybody just blossom. To where it's like, when you got somebody like that on your team, I wish we had him for 4 years, but you got somebody like that, man. He was the coach at times. And it's different when a player start becoming the coach. We could say the same thing over and over, but when you got somebody on your team to take control and speak to his teammates like a coach and uplift them, you just see something different. You see the results. I mean, like you said, it's hard. We won the last 5 or 6 games by 1 point.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's something to winning a bunch of really close games like that in a row. I mean, grit, determination, refusal to lose, all the things you said. That's amazing. Was it more satisfying to win as a player or to win as a coach?
I didn't win as a player. I lost two.
You went to the game. Y'all played that game.
I lost my sophomore year, my junior year, but to win it, and just it's a great feeling. I mean, it's no feeling like it, to be honest with you. The phone calls and I ain't gonna lie, a couple of them flags that was at the end of the game, I was like, all right, they try to put these people back in the game. We had 2 or 3 interceptions that was called back. And I was just like, oh Lord. So I'm over there talking to the ref. The one thing I told my coaching staff, I said, look, man, we not taking our foot off the pedal. I said, I don't care what we do, whatever we do to get up, we will continue to keep them on their toes, whether it's running or passing it. I think we got content when I was there, so we just kept running the ball, which we ran the ball back then anyway. But we not gonna do that. But the feeling was just unreal.
So, Coach, we've had the pleasure of talking to several coaches on the podcast, and a lot of them have an old school mentality. And we've often asked them this question. I'm going to ask you because I don't think you're very old. I think you're definitely younger than we are. Motivation. So kids back in the 80s and 90s were motivated a certain way. And I know, look, everybody's motivated differently, but for the most part, you could motivate them certain ways. 2024, what's the difference? How do you get across to these kids these days with everything they've got going on, all the ancillary stuff that goes on now that we didn't have back then?
Oh, it's challenging at times. I mean, because they all different. Like I tell my coaching staff, it's counseling at the end of the day. You got to figure out what motivates each kid individually. And then hopefully they have the same goals and stuff like that as far as to win, to be winners, and which they do. But it's just a different type of kid, to be honest with you. For us, I think after Friday, we look forward to going out there on Saturdays and some of our old coaches and some of the younger guys looking at us like, man, congratulations, man, on the win and stuff like that. You don't really see that too much unless they got like a younger brother or something like that. And also, we also look forward to it. They was going to get on us. You know what I mean? It was a village. I think it was more of a village back then than what it is right now. So that's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, but I would say we're fortunate enough to have some good guys on our side of town that want it. They want to win. It's just a different way to where we try to motivate them every day. We try to find different drills and stuff to make them compete. Nowadays, kids don't want to compete. They really don't. They want to take it easy on each other. And I'm like, y'all, we're hurting each other by not competing every day of practice. practice should be harder than Fridays or Thursdays or Saturdays, whatever day that you plan. So trying to let them understand, like, look, you got to compete. You got to push each other to bring out the best in each other. So when they start understanding that, we know we're working. Like today we had a great practice.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of people say without struggle, you're not going to get better, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So tell us about how you're feeling with the current team, the upcoming 2024 season.
Feeling good. We got to work on some things. We was fortunate enough to have 2 great scrimmages. We had Godwin. We posted a scrimmage Danville, but the county didn't want us to go that far. And then we had Bird, and I think Bird is going to be real good this year. I think they got a chance to definitely win the region. And I think we should be good. We got a lot of people back. We was young. We still young in spots. We got our whole O-line back beside the center. Whole D-line back beside the DN. I feel like we have one of the best D-lines in the state of Virginia, to be honest with you. We got a couple of kids that can go. 2 corners back. We got some linebackers that play a lot. We do got a young quarterback, a rising sophomore. Started as a freshman on the varsity. He also came in against Highland Springs last year, and he's just a ball player. I mean, he got some different in him. I call him ice cold. Don't nothing motive. I mean, no matter what he do, he'll get up and throw a touchdown. It's the same facial expression, same everything, and I love it. But when you look back at these kids, he's been doing it since he rec ball. So that's one thing I try to do. I try to tap into, going to the rec league, seeing what's going on, whether it's Verana Rec, East End, or Glen Lee, because a lot of them go to multiple, to whether it's Verana or Highland Springs. But I'm feeling good about this team. The biggest thing is about staying healthy. The past couple of years, when we fell short, we weren't healthy. Had a couple of knee injuries. I'm not sure if the turf is a good thing to be practicing on every day, because there's so many knee injuries. I ain't never even heard of an ACL tear when I played, but nowadays it's normal. And it may be too much football. They play football year round now too, so that may be it. But I'm feeling real good about this team. Just trying to see who will step up in certain spots. We got a dynamic wide receiver back, Damari Carter, to where he can play. I feel like people will double team him. So we're looking for other people to step up and make some plays.
What's the quarterback's name? That's going to be a sophomore?
Caleb.
Cool.
Yep. He
That's
played.
a
He
superstar.
started.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started as a freshman on the basketball team too, varsity. I mean, he's just a ball player. His brother was KJ, played on the basketball team. I think they won 3 state championships. So it runs in him. His dad is Canard. Canard played at Armstrong. He was all Metro, everything at Armstrong. So it runs in his bloodline.
I remember Canard. So
yep.
you mentioned a couple guys that are potentially going to play at the next level. You probably have more than a couple. What is your role in recruiting and helping with the recruitment of your kids now? I know with the NIL and I think some kids are making money in high school now. What's your role?
So my role is just letting the kids know their options. When coaches come, of course, when it's a Power 5, they want to see certain kids or whatever. You got to make the eye test. You know what I mean? But so my goal is to put my kids in front of everybody that pretty much come in the door. First and foremost, you got to have the grades. You ain't got the grades, what are we talking about? But we got a great group of kids. They got some high GPAs, way higher than what mine was. So I'm thankful for that. But I mean, when I say you, we got Brilin Hood, 3-sport athlete. He got like a 3.8. All the linebacker, 3.9. Miles, a 3.4. So I got 2 recruiting coordinators too that send out film. That's emailing coaches. I got coaches that's in the building. I'm not in the building, but when they come in, I do make sure I go and greet myself, especially if I haven't met them for the first time. So I mean, we didn't talk to pretty much every coach. I mean, all across the country now. So play a major role teaching the kids. We had somebody come speak to them about NILs and how to brand themselves and social media content. Meaning, don't be putting nothing on there that you don't see me putting on there. Even teaching them how to reach out to different companies to brand themselves to get some money. Now, whether they do it or not, who knows? But we're definitely giving them the information. Like I told them, better take advantage of it. You don't know if you can make it to the next level as far as NFL, but if you could put some money in your pocket, go into college or while you're in high school, why not? So the opportunity is definitely there. I think a lot of the kids that probably getting paid, they 4- and 5-star kids for sure. We do got some young guys. We got like 3 or 4, 26 kids. They got multiple Power 5 offers to where I think they making, get in that situation to where they can probably get some money depending on, especially how things go this year, to include grades.
And thank you for explaining that. It's funny that you mentioned Brilin Hood. When you're seeing little kids play, because my oldest played with Brilin when he was younger, and sometimes you're like, oh, that guy's going to be good, and you never know if they're. And look, it didn't take a genius, but I was like, that kid's going to be somebody, and he's awesome and a great kid too.
Amazing kid, and that's the thing. A lot of our kids that the Power 5 guys that got the offers, they are great kids, great leaders. They stay out of trouble, stay out the way. Jason Richardson, another one, D tackle. We call him Bull. We just got some amazing kids, and honestly, they the ones that keep me doing what I want to do. Just keep coaching. We all know in Virginia, you ain't making no money, so you got to do it for the love of the sport. And they make it easy for me to want to come back each and every year for having great kids like that on our team.
Ray ain't gonna let Brilin go off the beaten path. Don't worry.
Huh?
I said Ray ain't gonna let Brilin go off the path. I know that.
No.
Dad,
And he and Brilin, man, he killed it in baseball this year too. He's hitting the home run. So Notre Dame came and talked to him. They said, look, man, keep playing 3 sports. And that's another
awesome
thing too far as recruiting. It's mandatory around. You got to play 2 sports at least. Whether it's track and football, whether it's wrestling and football, whether it's wrestling, football, baseball, whatever. I want these kids to be active, because if you're active, you're not running around the streets. You staying focused. You engage in what's going on. And most of the time, when you play multiple sports, your grades are you doing good with your grades. So that's one thing that we was pushing at Verana, playing multiple sports.
Love it.
All right, Marcus, let's go back to your playing days at Verana. Who were some of your favorite teammates, and why?
Ooh. Michael Robinson, of course. Just the dedication that he put in. He was in the weight room probably 7th or 8th grade. I wish he would have told me to come on. I was over there still playing basketball. I told him if I was, I probably would have never been coaching. I would have been in the league with him. But definitely Mike. Craig Lubrano. He passed away our senior season. But that team of ours, we was just like brothers. We did everything together. After practice, we in the pool, we going to we just did everything. Beef Baker, the lineman. Just a great dude. We had them linemen to where they ain't washed their shirts. They had their lucky shirts. So they ain't washed it for the whole year. You got T. Rogers. Still, I'm lucky now. I'm blessed to coach his son now. He's on our team. Poppy Davis. So all of us still talk. We still brothers. We still hang out together. So, I would say anyone that's around here now, we still together.
So when Paul and I were coming up, and he had mentioned how long ago that was, Verana's big rival was Highland Springs, and still is. What about that rivalry is still as heated as it used to be, or is it?
I think it's still heated. It probably won't heat when I played, because I never lost to them. I really didn't. Even in basketball. In basketball we beat them too. So nowadays, it's definitely heated, because a lot of these kids actually play with each other. Even when we played against them, we used to just play. In rec ball, we played against them. I never played with any of them. Now, if you look at it on Verana, they actually all played together on the same team, most of them. So they're a little bit more friendly than what we were. I was only friends with a lot of them. It was all love, but I had family over there. So the Flemings and all of them was they family to me. Now, they buddies. It's totally different. Even back then, Mike, they couldn't stand each other. When we see each other, it won't always good. I had to jump into stuff like, hey, we ain't about to go there. But the rivalry is great. You come to see the atmosphere now, it's definitely different now. You got people around the fences, you got the people on the fields. It's just different. Like I said, because a lot of them, they play with each other. They actually love each other. And I think outside of when we played them, we rooting for them. They rooting for us. Back then, I couldn't say that.
Right. I love it.
Who's the best player you ever played against in high school football?
Ooh, that I ever played against. Amar Brooks.
Okay. So
CD Hill.
solid name.
Yeah. We lost twice to them, so I got to go with him. But he was different. He was definitely different.
Where did he go to school?
UVA.
High
CD
school.
Hill.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, so y'all saw them in the playoffs.
We played them twice in the state championship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they
Yeah.
Hey, Marcus, thank goodness you got that state championship as a coach.
Yes. I mean, my phone was ringing off the hook that day.
Oh, I bet that was awesome, man.
Yeah, it was, man. A lot of us is saying, man, just thank you, because we honestly felt that we had way better teams that came through, and we had some teams that we probably felt like we should have won it. You know what I mean? But whatever it is that happened, it happened, and I was blessed in this situation to be the first one to win it. So I'm thankful.
All right, I'm gonna take that question to the next level. Sometimes we'll do a Mount Rushmore one here, and I didn't give you a heads up for this, so I apologize. But I don't think it's going to be a hard question for you. I asked Coach Tennyson at Highland Springs to tell me his 4 greatest Highland Springs athletes. So I'm going to ask you who, and you can include yourself if you want. It's up to you.
Nah, don't include yourself. That's a weird thing.
Include yourself. The 4 best athletes to come out of Verana High School in your mind.
Whew. Hey, that's a tough one.
No, hold on.
Are we talking about just football, or are you talking about all around athletes?
Everything. I think Coach Tennyson gave us a triathlete or something in one of his answers. I don't know, it was somebody that's off the beaten path. But yeah, anything.
Okay.
Marcus, if this is going to cause you any issues, you don't have to answer this question.
Well, I can only go off of the ones that I saw. I don't really know before me or whatever the case may be. But and we're talking football.
No, that's everything. Cool. Football or
it's
everything.
Up to you. It's up to you, though. I mean, the best athletes are football players, right?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
I'd say basketball has
so Marcus Taylor.
Okay. Well, that's a hard question. I'll go with.
While you're thinking, there are a bunch of NFL guys, right, that came out of Verana.
And that's what I was about to go with. I mean, you kind of got to go with those guys when you look at it, and I'm just thinking football. I would say, Michael Robinson, Super Bowl, big athletic guy. I'll even say Kevin Lewis. Like, he's a person I'm glad I ain't had to play against him. I'm glad I didn't have to hit him every day. Like, I still be like, when I used to see him, like, I'm glad I ain't got to tackle you every day. To be that big and be that explosive, fullback, D tackle, go to linebacker, which is crazy for that size of a player. I would say Andre Branch. 9 years in the NFL. Had a great career at Clemson. And probably Maurice Kennedy. What he did at Verana. Donnie Dalton, too. I mean, he broke every record at Verana. He was wide receiver. He was punting. He was kicking, returner. His high school career is probably like no other. And then I would probably also say Isaiah Page. Isaiah Page was one of the most electrifying players that I ever got to coach. I mean, he could do it on both sides of the ball, and just overall, with this great kid, great person. Go be on time. Always been a leader. Just a good kid.
Love it,
Marcus. I've really enjoyed talking to you. I'm happy for all the success you've had. I wish you nothing but the best of luck. I will tell you, because of Stu Brown, and us talking to so many Verana people, we're in danger of this podcast being called Verana is for Sports.
All right, before we go though, I'm gonna ask you a question that irritates Paul when I do it, because it has nothing to do with Virginia. LeBron or Jordan, who's the GOAT?
You said LeBron or Jordan?
Yeah.
I gotta go with Jordan.
Right.
He knows everybody's going to say Jordan. He knows everybody's going to say
Jordan. And honestly, though, I'm a LeBron fan.
Right.
But Jordan made me, watch the game of basketball. He made me go by the Jordans and stuff like that. So he led the way. But overall, from what LeBron did and what his team did, like meaning the people he grew up with and how everybody has elevated, and I mean, he changed. I mean, he just all his friends multimillionaires because of him. You know what I mean? I mean, they had the mindset to be where they at, but he also put them in the right situation to win. And from a team and support and how he involved his teammates, I would love to play with him if I played basketball. And then what he do in the community is like no other. So to me, if you talking about like not just basketball and what he doing like in the community, I'll go with LeBron all day.
Yep.
But if I just basketball, I'll go with Jordan for sure.
Hey, Marcus, let me explain something real quickly about why he asked that question. He's a huge UNC basketball fan. He's loved Jordan for most of his life, like 40 plus years. And we were in Virginia's for Sports from the beginning, and he had a bunch of UNC stuff up on the wall behind him. So, come on, man. We don't need it.
No. So by the way, Paul, I don't expect everyone to answer with Jordan. I want to hear somebody say LeBron, and I'd love to hear why. Because the problem when you ask that question is it makes the answer usually someone gives you their answer and then they put down the other one. And let's be honest, they're probably the top two, unless you want to throw Kobe in there, ever, right? So there should be no shade thrown at either one of them. They're both incredible, and we've had the honor and the pleasure of watching them play. I mean, that's
exactly.
Amazing.
Because I don't think it's gonna be too many more LeBrons to be that size, to be that physical and athletic. So I think he's a person that actually could go play football too, and be successful. To where it's like he got blessed with some crazy genes.
Yeah, he's different.
But
I don't know if he could do that though, Coach. I don't know if he could. I don't know if he could play football though. He flops a little too much for me.
Well, look,
I'm kidding.
I was just watching some highlights. I think when he first got to the league, they was tackling him in the air and everything. But I guess
they were.
You got to make sure you foul them. But we used to that style of play, looking at Jordan and the Pistons and all that back in the day, and the Celtics. So that's the basketball we used to. It's just different.
It's different. It's different.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. It's been a fun conversation. Paul and I will do our best to get out to Verana and check you guys out this season. We wish you nothing but the best of luck. Not that luck is involved. I think you got things under control. So go win a state title, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for having me as well, y'all.
Absolutely.
All right.